IPMNation.com.
This is Ryan LeMay from Sonic Wallpaper and the New Prophets. You are listening to Local Outbreak, IPM Nation, on the Planet 100.1 FM with the famed Matt Connarton.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We are at the studio, as we are every week, here at 50 Canal Street in downtown Laconia. Please support your local businesses as well as local music. Very important. Of course, we're also sponsored by Central NH Events. If you need a DJ, you can go to centralnhevents.com. Tim Martin does a great job, and we'll DJ whatever event you may wish to pay him for. And, of course, Tweak Sound and Mastering. Matt Marcil does great with production and engineering and all that stuff. And mastering, of course. TweakSound.com is a website if you want to hook up with Matt. And, of course, another sponsor, Sonic Wallpaper. And we have with us right here, right in front of me, Mr. Ryan LeMay.
Good evening.
From Sonic Wallpaper and from the New Prophets, of course.
That's correct.
So, Ryan, you are here to tell us, kind of update us, in a sense, about what's going on with Sonic Wallpaper. Some big changes.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things happening with it. Been a busy guy lately.
Yeah.
First and most important is it's moved.
Yes.
So it's at the Laconia Community Center now.
Okay.
Moved from Toad Hall, which was a great place to have it. We kind of outgrew that.
Yeah.
Some of the other things that were going on at the same time, the flow and the drum circles, they were going to move anyway.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so I figured if we're going to move the program, I'd like to move it back to Laconia.
Yeah.
One, because it's more local to me, but also because most of the sponsors we've picked up have been from this area, Laconia, Guilford, the surrounding towns.
Yeah.
I'd like them represented in their own community as much as possible, so
sure.
I thought that made sense too. So,
well, before we go any further, for those who don't know and didn't hear your previous appearance on the show, of course, what is Sonic Wallpaper exactly?
Exactly, it is donation-based guitar lessons. So people can come take lessons with me every Wednesday night. It's split up into 2 sessions. 6 to 7 is beginner 1.
Yeah.
7 to 8 is beginner 2. Or if there's all beginner 1, we'll have 2 beginner 1 sessions. We just kind of play it by ear, but that's the general format of it.
Yeah.
They will also be adding this round, and moving forward is yoga will be available from 6 to 7 as well.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
if parents want to bring their kids 8 years and up,
yeah,
and go downstairs to take advantage of the yoga while their kids in
that's
guitar
really cool.
lessons, they can. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. That's being taught by Tasha LaRue.
Okay.
Sadhana Studios. You like how I always do that?
Is that how you say it? Sadhana?
I feel like if you don't know how to say something, you say it with a question mark after.
Right.
It leaves you so you're not open to criticism.
Exactly.
Because that was phrased as a question.
Right, right.
So, yeah.
But it's not one that I can answer.
Oh, nor
but,
I.
But perhaps the listeners can.
You know who could answer that?
Who's that?
Tasha.
She's not here, though.
Yeah, she's not here. She should be here.
Should have brought her.
Well, I invited her. I think she was going to come, but maybe she didn't find herself or something like that.
Right.
I left a trail of chia seeds for her, but maybe the birds ate them and she couldn't find her way here. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, well, a lot can go wrong
Yeah.
when you leave chia seeds for someone. My grandfather used to say that.
More can go wrong when you eat them.
Yes.
We won't go down that road. So that's going to be a really neat addition to the program.
Yeah.
She has a studio out in Meredith. I'm not going to attempt the name again. You've already heard me struggle through it once.
Was it Sadhana?
Sadhana? I don't know if the H is silent or not.
It could be.
S-A with a wiggly thing above it.
Oh, right.
D-H-A with another wiggly thing.
Oh, two?
N-A, and then the third A doesn't have a wiggly, I think.
2 wiggly things in one word?
Yeah.
Yeah, she okay.
See why I can't pronounce it?
She cannot reasonably expect us to be able to pronounce it when there's two wiggly things in one word.
Agreed.
So a little constructive criticism there, Tasha, if you hear this.
Keep it to one wiggly, please.
Yes.
So I can pronounce it. But it's they're doing really well out in Meredith.
Good.
They're growing, and they've already moved into a bigger location.
Is she the owner, or does she?
She's part owner.
Okay, great.
Her and Nicole Calindres.
Okay.
Who is? I don't know if they're married to one of my drummers, Luke Heel, who is my drummer in Flicker.
Oh, okay.
So I know her too. She's really nice, and she does her and I think she started it. There's another girl involved.
Okay.
And she has some wiggly stuffs in front of her name too.
In front of her name? That's
Yeah.
even weirder.
So I'm not gonna attempt to say it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
And I don't know her personally anyway, so I'm not sure how to say it. But
Sure.
Tasha and Nicole, and I think a third person are all co-owners of this
Okay.
yoga studio.
Yeah.
But Tasha will be the one primarily, I think, coming to do the lessons,
Yeah.
do the yoga lessons there, which will be nice. I mean, I foresee this growing into a huge community effort at some point. It's already picking up a lot of steam, and we can probably talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe down the road, we'd like to add other stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely want to.
Yeah,
But
very
it's just
cool.
a matter of making that happen, but it's in the works.
Well, why don't we hear something? You brought your guitar with you, so
Yes,
we'll,
I did.
why don't you, would you like to play something for us live here in the studio, and then
Absolutely.
we'll come back and chat some more. All right, so this is Ryan LeMay. He's doing the solo acoustic thing tonight here at the studio, and we will be right back, and we'll talk some more about Sonic Wallpaper here on Local Outbreak.
Hi, this is Ryan LeMay from the New Prophets, and I'd like to tell you about a program called Sonic Wallpaper, which is donation-based guitar lessons offered at the Laconia Community Center every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 o'clock. Sign up directly at the Community Center, call, or go on their website for more information, or email me at thenewprophets@gmail.com. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Body Health Massage and Wellness, BluePlanetCMS.com, Jennifer's Color Bar, German Motorsports, George Chiquette, Rob Reed, Bob Rice, The New Prophets, Manchester Music Mill, and Abbott Business Networks.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're here at the studio with Ryan LeMay, who is, of course, from Sonic Wallpaper and one half of the New Prophets. Are you one half?
I feel like I'm 3/4 of the New Prophets, to
I
be
wonder.
quite honest with you.
Yeah. I haven't seen Michael in a while.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
Where is he? I mean, you're here doing the heavy lifting. He's off gallivanting or lollygagging or something.
Some people are just better at that. Can I just leave it at that?
Sure, yeah, no, absolutely. But are you guys are doing shows, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've been out and playing. I mean, we should mention that.
We just did like a trifecta last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're staying busy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
we're,
good.
We're still picking up steam.
Mm-hmm.
Still picking up new people, which is awesome. We just played the casino, and some people came intentionally, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
Meaning they're not our friends. They're
Right.
not existing fans. They somehow found us online,
Yeah.
checked out our stuff, and then
Good.
made the effort to come see us,
Yeah, that's really
which
good.
is awesome.
Now, where the casino? Like Hampton Beach Casino? Or,
No,
Oh.
everyone gets that confused. That's probably why no one ever comes.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding. No, it's everyone calls it the dog track,
Oh, okay.
and then it was the lodge, and now it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
either Lakes Region Casino. Yeah, Lakes Region Casino.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a room. The bar in there is called Bluesology,
okay.
or at least it was.
Yeah.
It might still be.
Okay.
I don't really know. It's a cool place to play, though.
There's a lot of questions in this episode.
I'm gonna say phrase everything as a question tonight. Hope you guys don't mind that.
See, I can do that too, but if I do it, no one notices because I'm asking
you're
questions.
asking the questions.
Right. I mean, right?
I see what you did there. But it's a really cool room. We sound good there.
Yeah.
The room's got good acoustics. It's a cool bar.
Yeah.
Come to the next one.
You do solo shows too, right?
I do. I've been doing that in addition. So if anyone needs some solo work done,
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I did the Winnie, which is owned by the same people that own Shooters.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Winnie Grill. It's new. It's where the Shalimar used to be.
Okay.
Did that sound like a question?
No, actually, no. You sounded like
Did I say that with
you
conviction?
You sounded definitive and certain, and
I wasn't quite sure. Really nice people that own both those places.
yeah.
Same people. So
Okay.
they, through Shooters, we always have really good nights over there. I think
Yeah.
that's probably, if you want to see us at our best, that's the place to see us.
Okay.
For whatever reason. Some of it's volume.
Yeah.
We're a little better at not ear piercing, but
Right.
loud enough that you can hear yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of the venues we play don't really allow for that.
Right.
We play small, intimate rooms, which I really enjoy too. But I don't think that it's where we sound best. I think Shooters we're very energetic. The crowd is very interactive there.
Yeah.
That's definitely the place to check us out
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're so inclined.
Okay.
Or my birthday gig at the casino on October 3rd.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm getting old, man, so I don't know how many more of these I'll have, so please come.
Hey, the Stones are still touring, so
Yeah.
you had some time.
I don't do drugs, so I'll probably die way younger than them.
Right. Yeah.
So there's that.
So earlier when we were talking about Sonic Wallpaper, you mentioned it had been growing where it was,
Right.
and you kind of had to make a move because it had gotten so big. Like, in what way? Do you have a lot of students, or what?
So, right, physically it got bigger, meaning more
Yeah.
bodies, but also in scale and scope.
Yeah.
So adding the yoga was one piece of that.
Yeah.
We also have new partners.
Okay.
So we've partnered with LPD, Laconia Police Department.
Yeah.
They have been instrumental in this move and promoting us, and jumped at the opportunity to be involved and to partner with us on. Chief Adams has done an amazing job about promoting what we're doing, getting other partners involved. So
Yeah.
he's been kind of my go-to guy to get other people on board with this. So
Yeah.
there's a bunch in the works that board meetings are involved and stuff like that that I can't speak of right now until they make an official decision. We have some fiscal agents that are considering us,
Yeah.
or local organizations that are considering becoming our fiscal agent.
Yeah.
We're nonprofit, so we need a 501c3. I have at least 3 of those lined up. So if the first 1 or 2 doesn't work, I have my original from Toad Hall
Oh, okay.
that has actually volunteered to remain on as our 501c3. So
Oh,
we can
cool.
remain a nonprofit. The city of Laconia took us on.
Yeah.
So through the Parks and Rec department, which trickles down to the community center, Amy Lavasek was my contact over there, and she said yes immediately.
Yeah.
So that's where we'll be having them.
Okay.
So for all of the things I don't know about, they can handle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Legal issues.
Sure.
Liability insurance, like all those type of things. A physical place to have it.
Right.
Is all covered by them.
Yeah.
So I'm also talking to a couple other locals, organizations. There's a family resource down the street here, which I'd like to get some counselors involved. Mm-hmm. So any kids in the program that want someone to talk to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this an all-encompassing sort of program. Is where it's not just about coming and learning how to play guitar.
Right.
That was never the intent.
Right.
I mean, that's a good thing to do to get people in.
Yeah.
But then where do you go from there? Like, the whole purpose is to help underprivileged or at-risk youth, or at least that was the original intent. That's still the intent. But saying that, it's important that people know anyone can come.
Right.
So you don't have to be in that group, if you will.
Did you expect this to grow as fast as it has? It seems like just in a relatively short span of time from when you were here before talking about this to now, it seems like it's just grown really fast.
It's gotten huge, and I'm supposed to do a presentation for Stand Up Laconia as well. So I want to get them involved. I want to get the resource center involved locally.
Yeah.
Because I see this, like I think I said this already. I see this growing into a huge community effort. Mm-hmm. This was never my program.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best to make it happen.
Yeah.
I want to do good things for the community. I'm willing to make that happen, but there's so many people behind the scenes that are making this happen that don't have my name.
Right.
That I could never take credit for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than being, it was my, I kind of dreamed the whole thing up.
Right. Yeah.
But I never would have been able to put it into reality without so many different people.
Yeah.
The list is huge. I said, I think that LPD jumping on board showed that not only are they aware that there's a need for programs like this, but they're also ready to be part of that.
Yeah.
So, admitting that there's a problem or that there's some help that's needed out there is the first thing, but for them to be so receptive to it kind of blew me away.
Yeah.
Where they were right away. They were like, yes, let's make this happen. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
That was their attitude from day one. And like I said, Chief Adams has been talking to everybody and getting us sponsors, getting us other partners, making this thing grow into a community effort. Mm-hmm. Part of the donations will go to them for programs that they have going on.
Yeah.
That are kind of related to what we're doing. So, and they actually have a lot of good programs in place. I think he's done a really good job trying to become a more interactive police department.
Really?
Yeah. And I think a lot of them across the nation are kind of picking up that same mindset where they're like, we don't want to be the guys driving around giving out tickets. Like, we want to be involved in the community. And I think since he's become chief, I've noticed, a shift in attitude.
How long has he been chief? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I know for at least the last year or two, which is when I kind of noticed, a change. So how long he's been in there, it takes time to get things rolling.
Sure.
So, as of right now, I think I see a difference from what there was 5 or 10 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Good.
Yeah. So they've been awesome for that, and they can actually get. I mean, who's in a better position to get the people into the program that might need it? Mm-hmm. Them.
Right.
And we're not looking necessarily for career criminals.
Right.
But what we're looking for is good kids in a bad situation, which I found a ton of that in Franklin.
Yeah.
And I know there's plenty of that here too.
Yeah.
So for those people, particularly, like, that is kind of that from the beginning has been my target demographic, because those are the people we can help. Mm-hmm. If we can steer, even a few of them clear of making some really bad decisions.
Yeah.
Which is easy to do when you grow up in an environment like that.
Right.
But I've always said, if one person gets involved, sometimes that's all it takes to steer someone from the direction they're in to the direction they need to be in. Unfortunately, with a lot of the stuff that's out there now, a lot of the drug problems we're having.
Yeah, heroin is huge.
Heroin, and meth.
Yeah.
More so heroin, but once you go down that road, there's so little chance of coming out of it. I hate to sound negative or not give anyone hope who's trying.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, if you can just avoid that altogether,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, prevent that from becoming a thing to begin with, because once you go down that road,
There's really only once you go down that road, there's really only two outcomes. You're either going to die,
right,
or if you're lucky, the worst that happens is you wreck your life
and you end up
and
in
have
jail,
to
possibly,
and have to rebuild.
It's a really, really nasty thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, we talk about it, and I talk about it with friends, and everybody seems to be talking about it.
Yeah.
I challenge people to do something about it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of what brought this about, is somebody has to do something.
Well, that's what's impressive, too, about, you were talking about the Laconia police, and you know, because it's one thing to be aware of a problem and to be concerned about it, but then to actually do something about it. I mean, because, you know, a lot of times, you know, people are aware and they're concerned, but to be able to take that and to translate it into action is a whole other thing. So
exactly.
that's
and
fantastic.
like I said, that's probably what impressed me most.
Yeah.
Is their willingness to jump on board with it and really kind of do anything necessary to help the process along.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and I'm hoping one of them over there will end up in the guitar lessons.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm throwing out that challenge to all the Laconia police officers. So I want to see at least one of you guys or gals in the lessons.
Right.
So it's a good program, and to have them there would mean a lot. I'm asking Chief Adams already to have somebody there in some capacity.
Yeah.
Because I want some interaction between them and the community that is in this program.
Yeah.
So that people can kind of maybe change their perspective.
Yeah.
Maybe both ways.
Right.
As far as, you know, misconceived perceptions of people. I mean, we're all people. You know, they put on a different uniform than I do, but it doesn't make them any different than me. And there's good and bad in every profession. So,
oh, absolutely.
I'll leave it at that.
Absolutely. Well, let's. Do you want to play another ditty?
I like playing ditties.
All right, then we'll come back and we'll chat some more with Ryan LeMay about Sonic Wallpaper.
Hi, this is Ryan LeMay from the New Prophets, and I'd like to tell you about a program called Sonic Wallpaper, which is donation-based guitar lessons offered at the Laconia Community Center every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 o'clock. Sign up directly at the Community Center, call, or go on their website for more information, or email me at thenewprophets@gmail.com. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Body Health, Massage and Wellness, BluePlanetCMS.com, Jennifer's Color Bar, German Motorsports, George Chiquette, Rob Reed, Bob Rice, The New Prophets, Manchester Music Mill, and Abbott Business Networks.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're here tonight with Ryan LeMay from Sonic Wallpaper. And so, Ryan, are any of the students from Franklin coming to Laconia, or how does that work?
Yes.
Great. I mean, it's not like it's far.
I like that answer. I'm just going to answer yes or no to all questions for the rest of the night.
Well, it's more definitive.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you start going, yes?
I actually know that information because I was at the community center today and saw the sign-up sheet. And at least 4 of their names were on the new session.
Good.
So I'm ecstatic that that's happened.
Yeah, I was going to say that must feel good that you can make some sort of change logistically, and they want to stick with it. That's great.
And I wanted them to. On top of that, that was a hard decision to make, to move it. I didn't take it lightly. I mean, there was a lot of people involved that I felt needed it. Yeah. So I didn't want to move it and risk them not being able to keep going. Right. That was a hard thing to struggle with for a while, but for the program to grow and survive and to become what it can be, I mean, I had so much support here, and not just from one place. I had plenty of support at Toad Hall. Yeah. Outside of that, there wasn't a whole lot of interaction, and that could be as much my fault as anyone's, because I didn't really reach out for it because it didn't occur to me at the time. Sure. When I moved it here, like I said, the community center embraced it with open arms, as did LPD. And a bunch of other local charitable organizations and mental health type places and just family resource type places where people can get help for this stuff. So that was always the intent. So that ultimately, that's why that and this we outgrew the space. Sure. That's why ultimately I had to move it. Have you always given guitar lessons, or is this something you started to do recently specifically for this? So I used to a long time ago, and then I just got life happened a bunch of times, so I stopped. I really enjoy it. Yeah. I'm really good at teaching, and the kids have a lot of fun. It is structured, so I have curriculum. I have a lesson plan for each night that we have lessons. But I think we talked about this last time. I like to keep it fun. Yeah. I like to make it interesting, and I like to not overcomplicate it. I simplify it all. We talked about that, too, I think, last time I was here, if anyone heard that last interview. Simplifying it, breaking it into pieces, putting it back together is kind of the way I approach teaching, and that's been people have been very receptive of that. Yeah. So I think that's why a lot of them are coming. I've got really good feedback. Everyone out at the Franklin at Toad Hall really seemed to enjoy it. Enough so that a bunch of them are making the trek out to Laconia. Which is cool. So I'm happy to see that they're still coming. Yeah. Plus, you get I like them. So for them to come is like I already have some that I know, and that's. You never know. That first night's always nerve-wracking for me. It's worse than is it? Yeah. It's more. It's me and Mike talk about this all the time. I never get nervous for gigs. Yeah. I never have. Really? Yeah. And I don't know why. Yeah. I just don't. It's not a nervous thing for me. You have a nervous energy maybe before you play, but I never get nervous. I don't have stage fright. I never have. Yeah. So it's a weird thing. And he's always like, how do you just stay so cool? And I'm like, I don't know, man. but then when I get in front of a group of kids to give them lessons, like the first night, I'm as nervous as I probably can be. No kidding. I don't let them onto that, but of course. Now they know. Right. So how many kids are in the class typically? It probably varies a lot. It can. There's less in the second group, the beginner 2, because you have to kind of go through beginner 1 or have been playing for a while. And even then, unless, you're really good and know all the fundamentals, which a lot of people seem to miss when they start learning. Yeah. So you kind of have to go through that first one and then make it to the second one.
Yeah.
The short answer to that is there's room for 12 in each session.
Okay.
So 24 total. I should say each class. So like the 6 to 7 and the 7 to 8, there's 12 each.
Okay.
It's 24 total available spots.
Yeah.
And it seems to be filling up pretty fast, which is good and bad. I don't want anyone to be excluded, so
Right,
I'm
of
going to have
course.
to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I really can't do any more than 12 people at once.
Yeah.
Or nobody's going to learn anything, and we're not going to get anything accomplished. So
Right.
maybe there's other people out there that could come on board. Maybe someone goes through beginner 1, beginner 2, maybe beginner 2 a couple times, and maybe they become someone that can help me out with
Yeah.
the program.
Yeah.
That was kind of my thought, too. That would be a cool thing.
That
to
makes
do.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the age range, would you say?
So we like to have him be at least 8.
Yeah.
We'll make exceptions to that
Yeah.
if they're very mature. Or the biggest problem is that they're not physically big enough usually. Younger than that, they can't fit their hands around the neck. They can't make chords.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
and
makes
so
sense.
They,
Yeah.
even with the smaller guitars, they run into that limitation of just not physically being big enough.
Yeah.
And then there's the attention span thing, which
Yeah.
I had a 4-year-old in there. That would be tough.
Right.
But, like I said, if they're a little under 8, or if they're big for their age or mature for their age and they can handle it, then we'll make exceptions. But
Yeah.
So we suggest 8 is the minimum age, and up to whatever.
Yeah.
There's no cap.
Okay.
So anyone can come of any age as long as they're above 8.
Yeah. Is I forget. Oh, Danielle. Does she still come for lessons, or because we had her? Well, we didn't have her on the show, did we? We just
No,
had her. She
did
was
the
just in
last
the ad.
ad spot,
That's right. Yeah.
She said that she's going to try to come.
Yeah.
I think she will. I hope she will.
Yeah.
Because I know she really enjoyed it. And
Yeah, because it seemed like from meeting her here, that she really, it was obvious that she'd gotten a lot out of it.
she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the stories, like one of the success stories I try to tell people when I'm talking about this program and why I even do it. Like,
Yeah.
'cause it takes a massive amount of effort and time.
Oh, yeah.
To be quite honest with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's a big
I don't
commitment
get
for
paid
you
any
to-
dollars.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it costs money because I have to buy supplies and gas and all that jazz back and forth.
Yeah.
That'll go down now, but now that I'm in Laconia. But there is costs, But those kind of things make it worth it when you have someone like that you feel like you helped them out in some way, and maybe they made their life a tiny bit better.
Yeah.
Which with her, I really saw that. And so much so that her, I'm not sure what the family connection is, like an aunt or something that she's living with right now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go too deep into her personal life, but
Sure.
her aunt was bringing her, and then within a few weeks signed up for the classes herself.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
she was like, "Wow, this is awesome!
Oh, that's really cool.
I want to become part of it." And one of the other kids that is in the program, their father just signed up for the Laconia session.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
With him. So that's awesome. I
Yeah.
really, that's cool for a couple of reasons. One, it feels like you're doing the right thing. If someone's coming to watch you and they're like, "I want to do that," like that's
Right. Yeah.
that's something that has my attention. Plus, families. Like
Yeah.
the whole point is to try to get families involved
Yeah.
more so than they are now. Maybe that's one of the reasons we added yoga, so that maybe now it's a family event instead
Yeah.
of just dropping the kid off and going to do whatever it is you do.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe hang out and do some yoga and get in touch with your whatever it is you get in touch with in yoga.
Something with squigglies or something.
Yeah, I mean, you probably will change your name and put squigglies on it. I don't really know anything about yoga, to be quite honest with you.
Right.
My therapy is music,
Yeah.
so it's different for everyone. I mean, I get yoga. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Definitely has
absolutely.
health, spiritual, mental benefits. No doubt about that. I don't think anyone's going to argue that.
Right.
I just don't do it.
Yeah.
I probably should.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I don't do it either. But why don't we hear another song, another ditty?
Yeah, I've got ditties for days.
You've got ditties for days. That should be the name of your solo album.
That was catchy.
Ditties for days. And then we'll come back and we'll finish up with Ryan talking about Sonic Wallpaper tonight here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet and IPM Nation.
Hi, this is Ryan LeMay from the New Prophets, and I'd like to tell you about a program called Sonic Wallpaper, which is donation-based guitar lessons offered at the Laconia Community Center every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 o'clock. Sign up directly at the Community Center, call, or go on their website for more information, or email me at thenewprophets@gmail.com. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Body Health Massage and Wellness, BluePlanetCMS.com, Jennifer's Color Bar, German Motorsports, George Chiquette, Rob Reed, Bob Rice, The New Prophets, Manchester Music Mill, and Abbott Business Networks.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet and IPM Nation. And we are here at the studio at 50 Canal Street in downtown Laconia. And if you haven't been here lately, please stop in, especially with, it'll be time for holiday shopping before you know it. So this is a very cool place, funky little gift shop, and there's always new art on the walls. And very grateful to Melissa for giving us this space to do the show every week. So come on down. TheStudioNH.com is a website if you want to check it out. Always thank you to our sponsors, Central NH Events at CentralNHEvents.com, Tweak Sound and Mastering at TweakSound.com, and of course, Sonic Wallpaper. And we're talking tonight with Ryan LeMay from Sonic Wallpaper, and which is now in Laconia. And Ryan, what do you want to mention before we wrap up? I noticed something caught my eye here on this paper that you handed me about your working with Manchester Music Mill.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You know I know them a little bit.
Yeah.
I mention them every time we're here.
I don't remember you mentioning them last time.
I did.
Okay. I don't remember. But
you said, "Oh, I love that place." Oh, you said that's a great place. I said, "Yeah, it's the best music store in the world."
Or did you say, "Yeah, it's the best music store in the world"?
You mean put a question mark after it?
Yeah.
No, because it's Manchester Music Mill.
No, they are awesome. I don't know them that well, but it's always been a good experience going in there whenever I've been in there.
So, having already talked about this, it is tough to make sure I cover all my bases, but Manchester Music Mill has been instrumental in helping.
Pun fully intended, I assume.
No.
Oh, really? Wow.
No.
Not at all?
No.
Really? Honestly, that didn't occur to you at all?
No.
Weird.
I wish I could claim that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Oh, you're honest. I'll give you that.
I am.
I'll give you that.
So we couldn't do it without them. They put together a guitar package for us, for the students to use and or buy and or check out. So what it is an Alvarez acoustic, clip-on tuner, a capo, I know a lot of you don't know what that is out there. Well, if you're a musician, you do. 2 sets of extra strings, a dozen picks, and a gig bag.
Wow.
It's about a $350 value. He's giving it to us for $100.
That's incredible.
So here's what we're doing with that. Students can buy that package for that same price for the $100. Mm-hmm. We also have a lot of sponsors that buy that package and sponsor a guitar to be used in-house for the kids that don't have one or don't have access to one.
Yeah.
So they don't need one. So that's an important part of this too. Is
that's huge.
Yeah, the sponsors are who makes it possible for the kids that don't have guitars to still come and take lessons. So guys out there and girls, you don't need guitars to come do this. We have them. We need more. So if there's any potential sponsors out there listening, for $100, basically, I get that package. Here's a picture of what it looks like.
Oh, yes.
Can they see that?
Yes, they can, actually.
And they get a really nice sticker.
This shows magic. Wow. Look
See
at that.
the sticker?
Yeah.
It has their company name and logo, and it says this guitar is sponsored by blah, blah, blah. This one happens to say German Motorsports.
I noticed that.
So they get that. And, of course, they also get mentioned anytime there's media involvement, whether it's print, radio, what else is there? Facebook.
Yeah,
Social.
Yeah, social media. Print, radio, social.
Yeah, whatever type of media we do, we always talk about them and include them in it.
Yeah, excellent.
So they get lots of, coverage out of it too. But, I mean, I think most of them do it just because they want to do it and just because they want to support the program. I know a few of them have talked to me and said they've actually picked up a customer or two here and there from actually sponsoring that, which is really good to hear.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is important to take care of the people that are taking care of you.
Right.
So I feel that if someone's doing the right thing, like I didn't know until recently, I'm going a little off topic here, that Vista Foods gives a lot of the food that goes to the Kiwanis Got Lunch program. Yeah, comes from there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that either.
Neither did I. I think that when something like that happens, we need to do our very best to recognize them.
Definitely.
So I go there pretty much exclusively because of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I should, and I feel like people should try to do that. Support those who support the community.
Definitely.
That's kind of what keeps it all rolling. If you have people that are getting supported that aren't supporting the community, and then guys that aren't getting the support back, that makes it tough to sell support down the road.
Right.
And it doesn't help the community as a whole.
Right.
So that's my plug for those guys.
Okay.
I found that out recently, and I'm like, I wish that everyone did a better job.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to be very mindful of that, and I try to mention them every time we're anywhere talking about the program.
Yeah.
And we have, which it might come out before this airs, we have, wait, did I just give it away that this isn't live?
I think so.
I'm so sorry.
Crap.
It might come out. It might actually come out before this airs. Doing an interview with the Laconia citizens. So
good.
Hopefully they'll all be listed in there too. They were very interested in talking to me about the program, and that I think will get a lot of wheels rolling and get people signed up. And the classes are getting close. So if people want to get involved, now's the time to do it. They're 10 weeks long.
Okay.
This particular one, there's going to be a long break.
Okay.
For about 5, maybe 6 weeks, because the community center gets turned over to Christmas Village for like over a month.
Oh, okay.
It takes a long, long time to set that whole place up.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
I think they run it for 3 days, and they spend 4 or 5 weeks setting it up.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So if you've ever been there, you can appreciate how much work must go into that, because it's pretty well orchestrated, and there's a lot of things going on there. So we have to work around that.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit, obviously. But normally there'll just be a 2-week gap.
Okay.
So if they don't make it into the session, pick us up on the next one.
Okay.
Can you fix that?
Session?
Yeah. Can you edit that out?
I don't know. Can I edit that out?
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
But you won't.
Well, I mean, now that everyone knows it's not live, I don't know what matters.
That's true. So I guess while we're on the subject, this might be a good time to talk about some of the sponsors.
Oh, please. Yeah, absolutely.
We just picked up a bunch of new ones, so I'm really excited about that. And that's all part of this momentum thing that's going on. And I feel like running downhill.
Yeah.
Like if you can imagine, like the momentum is kind of pulling me.
Right.
Like, so it was the other way around when I was trying to get this thing off the ground.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
And now there's so many people pushing this thing that I'm trying to keep up with it. So it's been awesome. I mean, I have so many people to thank. And I think, the community will see this grow and grow and grow and grow and get more people involved. And eventually, like I said, I want this to be a huge community effort. This isn't mine. Like I said, this belongs to the community. So whatever shape that ends up taking down the road, as long as it goes and grows, I'm going to be totally happy with it. Mm-hmm. So one of the sponsors we just picked up today is Body Health Massage and Wellness.
Okay.
They are right across from the new Sal's Pizza location on Union Ave.
Yep.
Above Happy Cow. There's my question mark.
I don't know.
Is that what that ice cream joint's called?
I don't know. I honestly don't remember. It's above the ice cream joint.
It used to be Captain Bob's when I was a kid. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, never mind. And then it was like a Sugar Hill Bakery for a while. And it was Oasis Tanning and Sparring.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, Serena Cormier owns it. And they, like I said, they're upstairs in the building across the street from the new Sal's on Union Ave in Laconia. And it's above an ice cream joint of some name.
Okay.
I'm relatively sure it's called Happy Cow.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone out there. And then Blue Planet CMS, which is Jonas's.
Yes, we were talking about that while we were waiting for you. Yep.
Yeah.
Jonas was here earlier.
Yeah, and they can be found on blueplanetcms.com.
Okay.
We just picked them up. And another new sponsor for the Laconia sessions is Jennifer's Color Bar, who is like a 2-year-old salon that's growing, and they're branching out, and they're opening a new location. The current one is in the Weirs, across from Fun Spot.
Okay.
Great little place.
Huh.
That's where I get my nails done.
Good. Well, you
my cuticles are atrocious. I haven't been for a while.
Right. I wasn't. I was going to say something, but I didn't want to be rude.
It is rude to critique my cuticles.
It is.
But I got to be honest, they're a mess. So I'll probably be in there soon. I do get my hair done there, though.
Good.
My fiance works there.
Oh, okay. Well, you kind of have to.
Yeah, and she's awesome. I feel like that's the one other thing I plug every time I'm here. I always talk about my fiance.
I don't remember you ever talking about her on the show.
Do you remember anything ever?
No.
Okay. Remember last time I was here?
I have amnesia.
I forgot Todd's last name.
I do remember that.
That was the most awkward 6 seconds in radio history. Because I was like, Todd, and I just dragged his first name out so long.
I do remember that.
Waiting, just praying that his last name would magically pop in my head and I would recover.
I do remember that.
Which I didn't.
Right.
And he said in the most aggressive tone I've ever heard, Workman. I was like, so sorry, man.
It was great.
And I know his last name, and I've said it a million times.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes it just
happens.
You just blank
brain
out.
Cramp, yeah.
I do that sometimes when I'm playing out and I deviate and I start thinking about what I'm going to make for supper.
Right. Yeah.
Do the next day, and I'm like, oh man, I haven't done laundry in a couple of days, and like I start thinking about that stuff, and then I forget I'm playing, and the same thing happens, and then I realize there's a bunch of people looking at me.
You couldn't remember Todd's name because you were thinking about laundry. I understand.
Probably. I'm always doing laundry.
Yeah.
And then another company that's been a supporter from the beginning is German Motorsports.
Okay.
Good friend of mine over there, Buzz Boisel, who has helped me out more times than I care to recall.
Yeah.
They truly are an awesome place.
Really?
Yeah, they are. And I'm not just saying that because they're helping us out. I've said that before they helped us. If anyone needs stuff done, they're the most honest and fair shop I've ever dealt with.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And they will do everything they can to accommodate you. They're super nice people.
Yeah.
I think they're doing 2 guitars now, which is cool.
Wow.
Some of the companies have sent in a check for a second guitar to sponsor a second guitar, totally unsolicited.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It feels really good.
Yeah.
And one of those companies is Abbott Business Networks.
Okay.
They've been with us from the beginning too. They just sent in another check to sponsor a second guitar in their name.
Wow. Excellent.
Which is really awesome. We also have some private donors now too.
Yeah.
People that just give us $100 out of the kindness of their heart.
What are their names?
Their names are George Chiquette. Well, it was donated in his name, in his memory.
Oh, I thought you weren't going to tell me because they were private.
Well, they're private in the way that they don't do business.
Oh, right.
se.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yes.
It's okay. Rob Reed,
Uh-huh.
who has been very, very helpful with the program since it moved to Laconia.
Okay.
He is out there just with his bullhorn doing everything he can to make this thing happen. He's been really awesome.
Yeah.
Bob Rice. This band called The New Prophets. Mm-hmm. I heard they're doing a second guitar too. Totally unsolicited.
Wow.
I know.
That's amazing.
And by New Prophets, I mean me.
Right. Yes. Three quarters of the New Prophets.
Let's throw him under the bus, Manu. He's not here. We should talk about
I
it.
know, right?
I mean, that's kind of your thing, right?
Which is funny because he's the original host of Local Outbreak.
Yeah, we should totally bash him then.
He was, and Jonas was here earlier. It was actually he and Jonas who launched Local Outbreak.
We've come full circle.
Yes.
And then, of course, Manchester Music Mill.
Yes.
Which I feel like I've said there's an awesome place. They're down on Elm Street in Manchester. They operate the same way German Motorsports does. They are the most fair, honest, reputable music store around.
Yeah.
And both of those guys are in fields that aren't always considered reputable.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
for them to be that good is saying something.
Yeah, definitely.
In those fields.
Definitely.
Joe Lacerda owns that. He's a fantastic guy. He needs to stop falling down.
Oh.
He just broke his leg.
Oh, that's
Well, first he rolled his car over on the highway 30 or 40 times, and then he recovered from that, and like 2 days later he fell and broke his leg.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, get well soon, Joe.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Miss you.
Jeez. Poor guy.
Yep. And I mentioned the community center, but I just want to give them another thank you for being so receptive and awesome to bring us in-house, giving us the space and all the insurances and coverage we need to make this happen.
Yeah.
Chief Adams at Laconia Police Department, been fantastic. And there'll be so many more coming in, so watch for that. I mean, really, I guess we just need to thank the community.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's been a community effort. Like I said, all these businesses that I just rattled off and more, because there's some that are sending checks that we just haven't got yet.
Yeah.
So that's everyone that's kind of heard about it or seen it has been. And thank you for all the media coverage, too, with you guys, with the Citizen.
Yeah.
I reached out to a couple other things that maybe to get big enough someday that MUR will cover us.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see. I reached out to them.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't respond.
They'll come around. Yeah, I mean, as you keep getting bigger, eventually they're going to have to, right?
Yeah, they're going to have to take notice eventually.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, Ryan, we'll wrap up, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
And where should people go online
for
Sonic Wallpaper?
Well, they can go. The Sonic Wallpaper group page is actually private.
Yeah.
So they have to ask to join. I recommend that anyone taking the program do that.
Okay.
And people that are interested can do it as well.
Yeah.
We pretty much accept everyone. The reason it's set up like that is so that I can kind of maintain it. There's kids involved.
Oh, yeah. No,
so
that makes sense.
I'm trying to keep it on the up and up.
Right.
And so that's why it's been a private page. 'Cause
okay.
You go onto any thread on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere these days, even MUR's page. I mean, you see what that turns into very quickly.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'm doing my best to avoid that. So go on there. Also, the sign-up forms, and we start, I didn't even mention this, we start up again September 9th. It's Wednesday, and it'll be every Wednesday for 10 weeks, 6 to 8. The classes you'll either be in a 6 to 7 or a 7 to 8 class. Yoga will be 6 to 7. You can go in or go on their website for the Laconia Community Center. Has the sign up forms. One thing I noticed is that doesn't seem to do it on the mobile browsers.
Okay.
So I don't know if that form is available that way, but I know for sure I did it on my computer and I signed up right there online, and then you can print it or email it to them. And then the only thing I'll be missing is the signature, and you can sign it the night you come.
Cool.
Also, like I said, guitars are available. We could always use more. Mm-hmm. So I'll be out there knocking on your doors.
Excellent.
Get ready for that.
All right, Ryan. Well, thank you so much. Ryan LeMay from Sonic Wallpaper and the New Prophets, 3/4 of the New Prophets as well.
Right on.
And you're a solo artist and all kinds of stuff. But thank you for all you're doing with Sonic Wallpaper. It's very, very cool. All right, thanks, Ryan. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
IPMNation.com.